All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the new Ridgeline podcast. I'm Devin Dunnigan, and here with me today, as always, is Mr. Stephen Mott. How you doing, brother?
Great brother Jake.
All righty, and we also have a third person on the podcast tonight, a special guest here for the first time on the podcast, David Jamal Reese. How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? Well,
Nothing too much. So tonight we're going to be discussing the 1995 album by Ozzy Osbourne, Ozzmosis, and this was released October 23rd, 1995 on Epic Records and produced by Michael Beinhorn. And this is Ozzy's seventh studio album. So, yeah, there is a lot of backstory with this particular release. I mean, we go from No More Tears, which was a huge, huge hit in 1991, and then he goes out on tour in the same year, and then by 1992 he's staging the No More Tours tour because, from what I understand, he was misdiagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and pretty much he intended for that to be his final outing, and he put together a live album to kind of commemorate that event, and he put that out. It had pretty much the standard set list for the tour, and then it had a track of the original Black Sabbath playing the song Black Sabbath, and that was recorded over the final two nights of the tour. And then there was a false live version of the song Changes by Black Sabbath featuring Ozzy's band at the time. So yeah, I mean, it was a big deal at the time. Ozzy was supposedly going to do this final tour and be done. And then kind of some stuff contradicts that because at one point or another, between the time of No More Tours and the Live and Loud live album and this particular record, there was a lot of rumors of a Black Sabbath reunion, an original Black Sabbath reunion. And so eventually that doesn't happen. And basically, Ozzy gets together with a bunch of musicians to do this record. And the reason I say a bunch of musicians, because literally a huge amount of musicians were even involved with this record, because this album comes from several different sessions. And I think that's why there's a very eclectic mix on this record all across the board. You've got stuff that harkens back to the earlier Ozzy discography, and then you have stuff that's very much of the time, kind of grunge, alternative rock, and we'll get into those songs here in a few minutes. But I mean, Ozzy was a huge selling icon at this point, and he had sold many, many records. He was a huge, successful solo act, and I mean, with that whole Black Sabbath reunion that was supposed to happen, it even caused Black Sabbath to record an album and shelve it indefinitely. And then eventually it was released in 1994 after it was for sure that Black Sabbath wasn't going to reunite at that point, but they later did in the late 90s, around 1997. And so, yeah, I mean, Ozzy goes in. At first, he starts making this album that was supposed to be kind of a side project. I believe it was called Ozzyland or something like that. And it was very, very different. And two of the musicians that were involved with those sessions were Mark Hudson and Steve Dudas. And the album was very commercial sounding and also very, very grunge. And you get two songs on this record from those sessions, and eventually that's scrapped. And then you get, at one point or another, Steve Vai coming in to do playing and writing. And one song from those sessions end up on the record, and then that's scrapped. And then eventually, I mean, the musicians that were around at this point ranged from anywhere from Mike Inez to Bob Daisley to Randy Castillo. I mean, it was all over the place. And eventually, from what I understand, the record label wanted something that was more in line to the previous record he had done, No More Tears. And so they tapped Michael Wagner as producer. And then the record company said, okay, never mind. We want something that sounds on its own and kind of a standalone project. So they basically kicked out Michael Wagner after completing at least 7 demos. And then Michael Beinhorn's brought in, who does this final record. And from what I understand, Ozzy and Michael Beinhorn did not get along that very well. And this was kind of a love-hate project between the two. And even Ozzy has said that he didn't care if he recorded another album after this, that it went so horrible. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of backstory here. And I mean, that's a pretty huge tangent I just went on. But I mean, yeah, this album is all over the place. And I'll say it right now. I think Michael Beinhorn was the wrong choice for this record. I mean, I'll upfront say that I hate the production on this record, all across the board. I think the production's horrible, and I mean it's just one of those things. I've heard the Michael Wagner demos; they fit much better for the Ozzy sound, and I'll talk about a lot of those songs that ended up from those sessions and which songs came from where. And I even liked the other sessions, the Ozzy Land sessions, which were very raw sounding. And Ozzy actually, he was stretching his vocals to a point on those particular sessions. And I mean, I like that. And I mean, there's a whole studio album to be put out from those sessions that's never seen the light of day except through bootleg form. So, I mean, yeah, this is an album. I used to hate this record other than around 3 songs, and I'll talk about those songs. But I've over the years kind of gained a fondness for it. I do like the record now. Like I said, it's not perfect. I don't like the mix that much, but it's overall a decent record. It's just different. And I think that the mistake was making this record different. So, I mean, I'll pass it off to Steve, kind of give you your opening thoughts on this record and where you stand on this particular album.
I thought at first that you was going to say their mistake and was making this album in the first place. But yeah, that's my opinion of it right there. No, I'm just kidding. Ozzmosis, I never heard of this album particularly. And to tell you the truth, I don't know nothing about Ozzy, but obviously I've heard Crazy Train. But other than that, I have no knowledge of Ozzy. And as so far as such, it's looking like I don't want to know anything else about him. So back to you, Devin.
All righty. So, David, give your opening thoughts and opinions on this record.
Yeah. So this be my first time ever hearing from Ozzy, and I go be honest, I like it. I honestly do. I don't know why. I guess because what you just said earlier is different. I honestly like the record. I like almost every single song of the whole entire album, and I don't really have much to complain about it. But I don't know. All right, Devin, you take it.
All right. So then that brings us to the very first track on here, Perry Mason. So I like this song. I've always liked this song. I mean, it's about it's as about classic Ozzy as you can get on this record. And to me, it's the most classic sounding song on here. I like the song quite a bit. It starts with this keyboard intro, which is kind of a take on the Perry Mason theme. And then it gets directly into this very hard and heavy song. But right off the bat, freaking production sucks. I mean, I'm just not a fan of the production. I mean, that's nothing against Michael Beinhorn because, I mean, honestly, I don't know a whole lot of Michael Beinhorn's work. I do know he worked on Soundgarden, Super Unknown, and the only song I know off of that is Black Hole Sun. But I mean, I like the song. This is the one I've always enjoyed ever since I first heard this record, and I will say I prefer the demo version a whole lot better to the final studio version, the Michael Wagner version, and I like the live version a whole lot better as well. I think the live version sounds even better. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I've got to say. I love the song. There was a video made for this track, and I'll talk about the tour and kind of the aftermath of this record and all. And I mean, this was the first single released in November of 1995. So there you go. So, Steve, take this song.
All right. It's. I wonder how he got the idea, honestly, about the whole Perry Mason thing. I mean, it seems kind of off the wall, and I just wonder how he came up with that. But I guess if anyone is going to come up with some off the wall thing to do, it's going to be Ozzy. But you know, as much as I know about him, anyway, I didn't particularly love this song at all. In fact, I absolutely hated it. It was terrible. It sucked, and I think Dr. Phil should have been the singer. So back to you, Devin.
All right, David, take Perry Mason.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with it. Okay, when I first heard the song, I thought I got honestly dislike it from the beginning of it, cause the tone of it. But then when I started getting into the music, I started liking it more and more. It got that flow that I like towards it that make me want to like just sit there and just listen to it all day. So honestly, about the song, I like it, I love it, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from Ozzy. So that's really all I gotta say about the song. So you can take it back, David.
All righty, and just kind of another thing, the overall song I was talking about, it's kind of a take. The intro is a kind of a take on the Perry Mason theme. The whole song kind of really is, and I mean that's just kind of an interesting tidbit. But yeah, we move to the next track. I just want you. So this is very very different for Ozzy. It starts off with this kind of ballady keyboard intro, and then it gets into this song that is just kind of whatever, but interesting at the same time because the lyrical standpoint of it, I've never been able to understand. I mean, it starts out this thing talking about unsingable songs, unwinnable wars. And back in the day when I first heard this song, which was on a compilation called The Ozman Cometh, I always thought he said, there's no more zigamazogs. And instead, it was actually unsingable songs. And that made me shut the song off because I thought it was that. But I mean, yeah, it's an interesting song. I like it. I think there's some good guitar work by Zakk Wylde on it. But yeah, I mean, it's not one of my favorites. It was a single. A video was made for it, and it was performed live. This was the song that stayed in the set list. I mean, Perry Mason I talked about was performed live. It was actually brought into the set way after the fact. But when they started the tour for this, this was the only song they performed off this record. So yeah, I like it. And this is co-written by Jim Vallance. It's a very, very popular rock and metal songwriter. So yeah, I dig it, but it's not really one of my favorite tracks on the record. I like it more musically than I do particularly lyrically. So yeah, there you go. So Steve, take I Just Want You.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't really like any particular part of this song at all. It sucked. I couldn't stand it. Um, the Darkest Eyes, it was terrible. I mean, I just, I, it was just terrible. That's all I could say. Is, I mean, I got distracted, but anyway, the thing is with Ozzy is that this whole album kind of has a metal sound to it. It ain't metal exactly, I don't think really, but it's sort of like I guess hard rock, but it just has metal elements to it, I would say. in my opinion, anyway. And I just don't really. I've just never been a fan of mixing those two things. If you're gonna do a metal album, do a metal album. If you're gonna do a rock album, do a straight rock. But I guess that's what Ozzy's. That's kind of his style and his MO. But that kind of shows you what I think about Ozzy altogether. Um, and this is crap. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so Dave, take I Just Want You.
Uh, okay. So, I Just Want You. So when I first heard it, I already knew off the bat the lyrics of the song is kind of weird. Like the whole time tempo of the song is like weird. It's weird, but at the same time, I like it, but at the same time, I don't. It's like right now, I don't even know about the song, to be honest. It's like it's just weird. Cause like but from the first song, I expected it to be just like that, but it came a little more different to the song, and I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. But you could take it back, Devin.
Alrighty, so yeah, I mean, going back, talking about Zach Wild's guitar playing, that's one issue I have. I mean, it's kind of bad when you kind of want more pitch harmonics on this record, which is something Zach Wild's known highly for, is the pitch harmonics and all. I mean, it's pretty bad when you're saying there needs to be more pitch harmonics on this record, because I mean this album, Zach does not sound like Zach Wild at all, which leads me to kind of think maybe there's some ghost players on here at points. Because I mean, it's just it's weird. It's very, very weird. And I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say. And I mean, you're going to hear this throughout the rest of the album with some of these songs. Then, and another major thing I have to say, I mean, what happened to the party rock songs that Ozzy was known for? I mean, you go on No More Tears and you have all these party rock anthems. I Don't Want to Change the World, Desire, stuff like that. And then you get to this record, and it's pretty much a serious record all the way through from start to finish. And really and truly, none of his albums prior to this had been as serious as this record. So that's just another little tidbit there. So the next track, Ghost Behind My Eyes. So this came from those earlier Ozzy Land sessions, and I think this is the one song to where the production kind of saves the song, because that earlier version I'm not a fan of, the demo or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a fan of it. I prefer this version highly to that original version. And I like the song. It's probably as closest next to Perry Mason as you get to classic sounding Ozzy, because that chorus is pretty classic style Ozzy. And I mean, it's kind of like if you took Mama I'm Coming Home or So Tired from Bark at the Moon and threw in elements of Black Hole Sun, and you get this song. And I like the song. I think the song's pretty cool, and I think this would actually have been a pretty good single. But I mean, yeah, I dig the song. It's very kind of weird. It's very of the time lyrically and all. But yeah, I dig it. So Steve, take Ghost Behind My Eyes.
Now you had said something earlier about some ghost players, and I mean that's pretty interesting. I've never heard that term before, but there seems to be a lot of that ghost type theme in this album and this episode. Uh, and because this song, Ghost Behind My Eyes, was there something like this? This was the only one that I decently liked, and I liked the guitar part and the tone of it. And this one was decent. Now, like Devin said, it being he mentioned a lot, it being weird and stuff. Well, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna expect with Ozzy, because of the whole bat story, all I remember. But that's just kind of what I expected with Ozzy, nothing less, and I didn't get anything less, that's for sure, in that department. and it was pretty decent. So this was the only thing that was halfway even, 1% out of 100 decent on this whole album. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so David, take Ghost Behind My Eyes.
Well, Ghost Behind My Eyes, to be honest, I like it. I like it. I like it. I honestly like it. At first, when I first seen the song, I thought playing, I like, oh God, I gonna hate this one. But then, cause it gave out that weird vibe to it. But then when you start listening on it, okay, it decent, it's okay. And then more I listened to it, more I started liking it. So to me, only thing I got problem with the song for it is probably it give me that weird vibe that I can't explain to it. But after all, the song is like it good. Like I honestly like the whole album. To be honest, I don't know why, but I honestly like it. But that's all really I have to say for. All right, back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so that brings us to track number 4, Thunder Underground. So this is a really decent song, I think. I mean, this is co-written by Geezer Butler, and you can totally tell there's a Sabbath influence in this song. I mean, the opening riff is very, very 1995, very, very grunge. But I think the song, this was another one that when I first heard the record, I really liked the song. I thought this one was actually okay. And yeah, I mean, I think the song's really, really cool. And it has this kind of doomy, gloomy vibe to it. I like it. I think it's a really cool song. So yeah, not much else I can say there. I mean, you've definitely got that Geezer Butler touch in this song. So I mean, yeah, I like the song, and it runs at 6 minutes and 30 seconds long. So this is a pretty long song. So yeah, I dig it. Steve, take Thunder Underground.
Well, I kind of like the title of it. That kind of experimental approach. That's pretty interesting and kind of out there in a good way for me. But the song was kind of a letdown from that. There was nothing good about this album from here on out. And the only comment more I'll make about it is that this album kind of wants me to. It kind of makes me want to go eat a bat. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so David, take Thunder Underground.
Well, what I got to say about the song, well, I'm with Steve on that. It make you want to go eat bad, but it like same time I like the song, but same time it make me want to go insane. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like kind of a little bit of a letdown, but it's not. It's hard to explain because like I like it, but I don't like it. But same time I like it. But really about the song, I don't really got much to say because I was listening to it halfway and I got zoned out. So right back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so then we'll move to track number 5, and that's See You on the Other Side. So this is another one that is from the Michael Wagner sessions, and once again, the demo for it is miles better than the final released version. And this was the final. No, this was the second single. I was wrong. So yeah, this was the second single released January 9th, 1996, and the actual third single was "I Just Want You." I didn't talk about that. There you go. So yeah, I mean, I like the song. It's co-written by Lemmy Kilmister or Kilmister from Motorhead, and I mean, this could fit right at home on No More Tears. This is another one that I think is very classic sounding Ozzy, and I dig it. I think it's a pretty good song, and it's another very long track. This is kind of the trilogy of long songs here because the next song's a long song as well. So yeah, I dig it. I think the song's really cool, and supposedly this was performed like once in like 1996. This was the only song from the album performed on that night, and this was the only time this song was ever performed. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty interesting. I would have actually loved to have heard this live, but I mean, it'd probably be kind of weird, especially not having the production on the song and all. But yeah, I dig it. It's fine. So, Steve, take "See You on the Other Side."
Like David said earlier, about the other song that he had got zoned out. I pretty much got zoned out. Period. Trying to listen to every one of these songs, just about it, like midway through. And if I zone out listening to something, it's like there's no point to begin with, in my opinion. And these songs, something else I would like to point out, are incredibly long on this whole. Not incredibly, but you know what I'm saying. Like versus a normal album. Like, I mean, if you look at this stuff, it's like the first song, 439, 458, 512, 630, and it follows that same pattern throughout the whole thing. I don't think there's any songs like the shortest song is 3 minutes and 59 seconds long, and that's basically 4 minutes. And that's like, I think it's because they wanted to really flesh them out. And I remember they kind of did that same thing with the Kiss album that we did a while back. And one of the best ones we did. And I like the idea of fleshing stuff out. That's one thing I like about this album too, is they're a little bit longer. And but anyway, as far as this song, just this song, it has a music video and stuff, and it's pretty much as off the wall as you can get, and it's stupid, and there's not enough bats in it. So, but I just keep saying that bat stuff because of that story I heard about him. But anyway, it's like I'm looking at Ozzy right now in his music video, and he's like all he does is like make these weird, stupid faces. It's just stupid. But back to you, Evan.
All righty. So, David, take "See You on the Other Side."
Well, the first thing I want to say, I want to agree with Steve what what he was saying, like the songs, how long they were taking. I did not expect half of these songs to be so long. I honestly did not expect that. I expected at least 330 or less. Yeah, I look on there, I see 450, 630. I was seeing, I was like, dang, this man really like to sing. So really, so when we get to the point, really about the song, "See You on the Other Side," well, I find it decent. I find it decent. It's decent in my eye, but it's something I would listen to like here and there, not something I listen to all the time. It's just like I would listen to it when I don't got nothing else to do. For real. So really, it's all right. It's an okay song. Ozzy, get out of stupid faces. Yeah, there's a whole lot of him giving out the crazy behind faces. And I don't know the history of Ozzy or his background, but I could tell that dude loved to show off some crazy behind faces. So I go keep it right there. So back to you, Devin.
All righty. So that brings us to track number 6, "Tomorrow." So this particular song, once again, could have fit right at home on "No More Tears." It's kind of got this weird production style behind it, and I like the song. It's a good opener. If this was a vinyl, I'm assuming this would be side 2, but the opening of side 2. But yeah, I mean, I dig it. It's a cool song. It's definitely one of the more produced songs off the record, if that makes any sense. It's the one that has kind of the more bells and whistles approach, and I like it. Like I said, I do enjoy the song, but I mean, I don't understand the lyrical content of the song. I mean, at one point it stops and he's like talking about I never killed anybody, and talking about something about the gun or something. I mean, it was kind of odd, but I mean, I dig it. It's a good song. It's I like it more musically than I do lyrically, probably. And I mean, I want to say this. I mean, this album's missing Bob Daisley. I think if Bob Daisley was on here, maybe he would have got a much more decent album than what you did here. So, I mean, yeah, I like the song. So, Steve, take Tomorrow.
Well, I would like to say that, you know, David, he brought up a thing like, to where he said he might, listen to it occasionally again, this album. But I would say that, that's a good point to bring up, because I would say I would never go back and listen to this song on my own time. I mean, this is not, I mean, I would never be just sitting there and just say, you know what? I think I want to listen to Ozzy today. That's never going to happen. I mean, that never crosses my mind. but but I mean, this particular song, you know, I was going through and listening to it, and I just could not stand it. This song just kind of peed me off over and over, and it just had me really mad. I mean, I just started like really throwing a fit and just started throwing stuff at the wall. But so it's just that bad. I just don't know. So back to you, Devin.
So, Dave, take Tomorrow.
All right. Okay, so hold on, hold on. All right. So the song Tomorrow, I agree with what you said, Devin. For real, I like it. I like it musically though. I like it. It's just the lyrics I don't like. It's just the lyrics confused me. It really did. Like the gun and stuff. I like what the heck. It really confused me. But the song, I like it musically, but I don't like it lyrically. Like the lyrics were just, I don't know what happened when he got in the mid of the song. I guess he just fell into his own world or something. But back to you, Devin.
Alrighty. So, Steve, take Denial.
Uh, well, I'm pretty much going to be in denial of this song for the rest of my life, because I'm never listening to it again. Mark my words, you'll be eating turds, because this sucks. Woo, it sucks. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I just don't know. Um, I mean, my Jekyll doesn't hide. I mean, old LA tonight, whole world's falling down. Amy, I mean, yeah, the rest of the album just it's terrible. And this is another one, just like the way I thought about 5150, Van Halen, when it first, when we first reviewed it. I could not stand it, and it grew on me, and this album may grow on me later, but as for right now, I would never want to listen to this again. I I'm gonna be in denial of this song. I'm gonna bury it. I'm gonna flush it down the toilet for good, and it should be taken off the market. So I just don't know. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty. So, David, take Denial.
Well, I know what I'm going to say is this. Okay, Denial. I don't know why. I really don't. Don't ask me. But I just found favor in that song. To be honest, I found favor. I like the music to it. The lyrics, I wasn't really listening to his lyrics, but I was hearing them here and there. But the song in general, I just found favor. I like it. I like it. When I was hearing it, I was completely like in the zone listening to the song. Like you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but at the same time, the song made me want to go crazy though. It made me want to smash something. I don't know why. It made me want to smash something. When I was listening to it, I got that rage where, God, I want to break something like a TV. So it gave me that rage. But yeah, I like it. But back to you, Devin.
Alrighty. So that brings us to track number 8, My Little Man. So, co-written with Steve Vai, and This is very, very interesting. I mean, it comes in with this sitar riff at the very beginning of the song, but I dig it. I mean, it's a pretty good song, and I mean, not much else I can say. I mean, short and to the point. I like the song. It's I don't guess anything special, but I do like the song. It's kind of it's a ballad, and I'm assuming this is written about Ozzy's son Jack. But I mean, yeah, I like the song well enough. So, Steven, take My Little Man.
Honestly, I just could not. I mean, trying to listen to this song for any period of time was just unbearable. So back to you, Devin.
All righty. So, David, take My Little Man.
I honestly don't know who he was talking about throughout the whole song. Like, when I read the title, My Little Man, I honestly thought it would be some type of female, some type of woman singing the song, but nah, I didn't know who he would talk about throughout the whole song. The lyrics, though, I was listening to them, and I say they ain't bad. I mean, the song decent, it's decent. If I go give it a rating out 1 out of 10, I will give it like a 6.5. It's something I will listen to when I don't got nothing else to do, but the song really did confuse me because I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't understand the meaning to the whole song completely. Like, but that's all I have to say about it. Not to you, Devin.
All righty. So then that brings us to track number 9, My Jekyll Doesn't Hide. So this is kind of a play on words and kind of back to Black Sabbath again. This has a very Sabbathy vibe. It's another very long song, 6 minutes and 34 seconds long, and co-written with Geezer Butler and Zach Wild. And I like the song quite a bit. I mean, it's got this kind of jam band style quality to it, and I dig it. I think it's a cool song. I mean, you get in the middle and you've got Ozzy screaming his freaking head off, and I mean, talking about the screaming, is supposedly Michael Beinhorn pressed Ozzy all throughout this record, and even to the point I believe Ozzy even blew his voice out. And I mean, if you listen to recordings from this tour, Ozzy's voice is kind of haggard, if that makes any sense, or haggard, however you freaking say that word. But it's his voice had very much become weaker than in the past, and you kind of already saw that a little bit on No More Tears tour and all. But I digress. But yeah, I like the song. I think the song's pretty cool, and I mean, it's kind of, I'm not gonna really say it's a genius play on words, but it's kind of a quirky play on words. So I mean, very Sabbathy, and I dig it. So Steve, take My Jekyll Doesn't Hide.
Well, I digress from this topic, and that's one point I'm going to make. Another point is that I'm going to reflect off of something Devin said. This kind of reminds me of Merle Haggard. Now I'm just being stupid, but because he had said Haggard or some crap. But anyway,
Oh my!
yeah, oh my, for sure. But see, the thing is, I really don't think Ozzy is a man, first of all, and number two, I think this title suggests that he's actually gay. So, uh, I that's what came to mind with this song, and that's what I got from the lyrics. Yeah, they're very gay lyrics. So I just don't know. I mean, we can mess around on here and stuff some, because I mean I'm gonna edit a lot anyway. So I mean I just don't know. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so Dave, take My Jekyll Doesn't Hide.
Well, Steve just hit the idea in my head. I read the title. It does sound like he gay. It does sound like it. And the thing about it, my Jekyll doesn't hide. I got a problem. Like when I first heard the song, it introduced me to like his lyrics. He listened like condemned to violence. Like, oh shoot, this song will be a violent song off the bat. And the more I listen to the lyric and look at the lyrics, it's like he going crazy. Like he going crazy throughout the whole entire song. And it made me just like, I don't know what the heck. And then the man sound like he gay or he don't know what or he don't know what he is. So throughout the whole song, it was decent, but I don't know about hearing it again. But that's all I gotta say. Back to you, Devin.
Okay, so I mean, this is kind of a. I just learned something about this song. I mean, this is an analogy for someone who's in the closet. Pretty interesting.
This might honestly be the best episode ever.
Yeah.
All righty. So then we move to track number 10, Old LA Tonight. So this is another one from the Michael Wagner demos. And once again, this is classic sounding Ozzy. This could have fit right at home on No More Tears. This is kind of the Old LA Tonight. Or I messed myself up. This is this is kind of the road to nowhere of this record, and I like it. I think it's a good song. It's a good ballad, kind of Elton Johnish, and I like it. I think it's a good piano ballad. So yeah, there you go. So Steve, take Old LA Tonight.
The title was so stupid, I didn't even listen to this song. I just skipped over it. I mean, to be completely and totally honest, which I pretty much am anyway. Uh, and if I hate a song, I mean, I'm going to be more likely to tell you than not. And let me tell you, I hate this song. 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Well, I mean, it should have been trimmed down to 0.00 seconds and minutes because it's nothing. It's crap. The Darkest Eyes. Uh, this reminds me of when if Michael Myers was to try to make a song and a record, and this is what happens. Uh, when a gay man with a mask on tries to make a song about L.A. because I mean it's just stupid. So I mean you see what starts to happen, towards the end of these episodes, David. They start to trail off. I mean, on my part especially. So anyway, Hank Williams Jr. and his open tit. So back to you, Devin.
So Dave, take Old LA Tonight.
No. Mm-mm. The song, the lyrics to the song, like look me in my eyes and tell me everything gonna be all right. What? I don't know who he talking to again. Like the song, it could be music. Like the music to it was okay, but he just the lyrics to me. I don't know if he going crazy or is he trying to tell me something about himself that I need to know. But I see that Ozzy is crazy. This man weird and crazy. I see it. But okay, I with Steve. I with Steve on this one. So, all right, back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so that brings an end to the record. So there are two bonus tracks which we'll quickly go through here. So the first one, Whole World's Falling Down. So this would have fit right at home on the regular album. I think it's a good song. This was a B side. I'm not sure what it was a B side to, but I like the song. It's fine. I mean, it's very 1995, very grungy, like I've said multiple times during the episode, and I like it. I mean, it's co-written with Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades, and I think they actually sing background vocals on the song, and I like it. I think it's a good song. So, Steve, take Whole World's Falling Down.
I just don't know. I mean, uh, So the whole world's falling down. Well, I mean, I really honestly don't know what in the world to say. So I'll talk about the production. I mean, Devin said he hates the production for this whole particular record uh, as a whole. But I don't know. That's not something that really struck me as being that bad. It's I mean, like I've said about stuff before, like just the songwriting. I mean, the very basis of the album is bad, but then the production was not that terrible. I swear, every time I have the complete opposite views of Devin on everything. Like his latest album he's came out with was even weirder than this, if you ask me. Ordinary Man. This is, I mean, not that it's any good, but it's still even weirder. But that was a very long tangent. It sucked. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Back to you, Devin.
So David, take Whole World's Falling Down.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest about the song. I think he talk about freaking revelation or something because the lyrics of it, he talk about the guy diving, that whole it bunny in the skies. I don't know if he on acid or something and he thought hallucinating for real, but it's like he was trying to predict like the future toward the whole song, and the song gave me like a weird vibe that I honestly don't like because you hear the guy dying, and I honestly I don't know about this one, to be honest about it. But back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so then we move to the next bonus track, Amy. So this was written about Ozzy's daughter, Amy, and this is another one from the Michael Wagner sessions. And I like it. It fits a whole lot more better, I think, with the production it has. And I mean, this was produced by Michael Wagner, and it sounds a heck of a lot better than the rest of the album. It sounds more organic. It fits a whole lot better in kind of the Ozzy discography, and the whole album should have been like this. I'm not real sure who actually plays on this song, if it's the band that made it to the final album or if it's actually Randy Castillo and Mike Inez. I'm not real sure. I mean, I need to pick this up on CD. I used to own the original CD years ago. I've since lost it. I need to get this version because I know a lot of people say the 2002 reissues were bad. The only real bad ones that were the first three records because they messed with them. They tampered with the songs and stuff like that. So, and the first two albums have since came back to the original form. It's just the third one, Bark at the Moon, which is still screwed up. But yeah, I like it. So, Steve, take Amy.
Well, I think Ozzy is possessed by the demon worm from Jason Goes to Hell, and that I think Ghost, not Ghost players, actual Ghost, actually played on this album. I think he conjured up spirits. I think he had bats in the studio with him. Woo! I like saying random crap. I'm uh I'm really just, I don't know, this lousy copy of 5150, and Johnny said I'm going to blow his head off. So back to you, Devin.
Alrighty. So, David, take Amy.
uh, it's like the song to me. It's like I don't even know about this one, to be honest. It's like he in emotion, but he's not. It's like it's like he in emotion because he's saying I love you, come on, my angel. But I don't even know what he is. It's like he in emotion. It's like he comes bipolar. Like 1 minute he's in love, the next minute he's not. It's just like the whole song is like, to me, just like confusing at it. But I'm gonna say it was okay, but it's something that I would not listen to for a good while. So, back to you, Devin.
Alrighty, so there is a few more bonus tracks that you guys didn't hear. So I'll talk about those real quick. So Living with the Enemy, me, that's what this freaking album was missing. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if you would call it a party rocker, but it sounds more like classic Ozzy. And it was another one of those songs from the Michael Wagner sessions. And it sounds a whole lot freaking better than this album does. And this was a B side to one of the singles on this record. And there's another B side called Voodoo Dancer, which is interesting. It's kind of, I wouldn't have put it on the record, but I mean it's a pretty decent song for what it is. And then there's a third bonus track called Back on Earth, which made it on the Ozman Cometh compilation from 1997. And I mean, I like it. It's a cool song. It sounds a lot like this record, and it's kind of in vein of "I Just Want You." But yeah, I dig it. And then there's also one song that came from the Michael Wagner sessions, and it's called "Slow Burn," and it has failed to see the light of day. So I don't think anyone's ever heard of that song so far. Maybe somebody has discovered it by now, but as far as the research I was doing on, of course, Wikipedia, it says it has still never seen the light of day. So who knows? And you do have the demos for See You on the Other Side and Perry Mason, which have both seen official releases. Perry Mason received official release through Michael Wagner's website, and then See You on the Other Side, it came on the Ozman Cometh box set. I mean, the Prince of Darkness box set, and it's, from what I understand, an abridged version of the original demo. Supposedly, the demo that's floating around, the one I heard prior to this review, that it's an abridged version of that, because I believe the demo I heard was like 7 minutes long. So yeah, it would probably be in the lower echelon of things, but I still like the record. So I mean, not much else I can say there other than I dig it, but it's not some fantastic record. So yeah, there you go. So David, what is your ranking or rating for the record?
I will give it around. It's decent, so I will give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, I like half of the songs, but it just like to me, it most of the lyrics that I did not like of it. Cause the lyrics like confusing, like he was bouncing, like he was bouncing around, like he wasn't staying on one topic. He was just bouncing. Like it went from talking about the whole bunny in the sky to "Will you be my angel? Let me love you." It constantly bounce around. Well, I like the music to it, the musically coming to it. I like it. I do. I like the guitar. I like how it bass. I like all of it. I like it. So if I would give it a rate, I give it a 7 out of 10. But that to me be decent. It's something I would listen to like here and there, like basically like when I'm busy or something. And only thing I can think of, maybe I do listen to the same album again. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about it.
Alrighty, so Steve, give your rating, ranking for the record, whatever you want to call
0 out of 10. I would never listen to this album again if someone tied me down and beat me.
Yeah, that's the episode. I want to thank David for coming on here and being the guest tonight. And hopefully, this will be the first appearances of him pretty much a lot on the podcast. I hope this will be
Yeah.
the beginning of his kind of frequent guest appearances on either this or DTM. So I want to appreciate you coming on here tonight, David.
No problem. I'll be back.
Okay. So, Steve, any final words?
Kiss my ass.
Woo! All right, so there you go. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and like, comment, and subscribe. Eventually, this will go up on Podbean at some point. I just recently had my Podbean account basically taken down somehow or another. It said it logged me out after I had started uploading episodes of DTM on it, and you'll probably be hearing this not the week that we're recording this, but the next week. So I mean, it still kind of fits, but yeah, eventually these episodes will be up on Podbean, and I mean, just stay tuned. And we've got a Facebook page, a Facebook group, and an Instagram page, and I mean, Steven's got his Ridgeline podcast, the Texas Brothers page. He's got all kinds of music out there for you if you want to listen to it. So there you have it. That's the podcast. So we hope you all enjoyed it. And I mean, as I say every week, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you all. Stay frosty, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye bye.